Everyone, welcome to Education of Excellence. I am Shivajit, continuing with PTC 65 of Vision IAS revision classes. मैं आशा करता हूँ आप सब अच्छे हैं और स्वस्थ हैं, और ये भी आशा करता हूँ कि आप सब ऑन ट्रैक हो रिविजन में, और जो भी मैं इम्पोर्टेंट लाइंस अंडरलाइन कर रहा हूँ आप सब भी ये नोटिस कर रहे हो। ठीक है, तो आज हम आपका एनवायरनमेंट के टॉपिक नंबर 5 से शुरू करने जा रहे हैं। ठीक है, तब तक हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए। So, our first topic for today is disaster management. Infrastructure for Resilient Island States (IDs). Recently, CDRI, so CDRI stands for Central Drug Research Institute, announced $8 million funding through its Infrastructure for Resilient Island States. This is basically an infrastructure program for small island developing states. So more about IDs program. So it is announced at United Nations 4th International Conference on Seeds in Antigua and Barbuda. So about IDs program, members CDRI with members Australia, European Union, India and the United Kingdom, and seats represent. So please remember, India is also a member of islands, small developing nations, small developing island nations. So next is what is about small island developing states. These are similar sustainable development challenges. Not all states are islands. So example of states like Maldives, Seychelles, Marshall Islands, Solomon Islands, Suriname Islands, Mauritius, Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, and Guyana and Singapore. So these are basically a Southeast Asian countries. Okay. Next, moving to the next topic. The next topic is United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction. So recently, UNDRR lauded India's role in global crisis response system, aligning with its ethos of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So India's response highlighted Operation Dost. For example, when there was a devastation earthquake took place in Turkey, so India launched that time Operation Dost. So Operation Dost is basically for against which country? Turkey. Operation Karuna, Cyclone Mocha in Myanmar. So when Myanmar was hit by a cyclone, so that time India extended its helping hand with the help of Operation Karuna. Next is vaccine Maitri. It is basically during COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so this is some of the India's role in disaster mitigation. Okay, so what is Sendai framework, or what is Sendai framework? So Sendai framework is to provide leadership and support to accelerate global efforts in disaster risk reductions to achieve inclusive sustainable development and the goal of Sendai framework. So Sendai framework basically deals in 7 targets. Okay, these are all related to something around risk reduction. Marine heat waves. Recently, ICAR, Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute, found that Lakshadweep has been affected by marine heat waves since October 2023 due to changes in ocean currents and excessive heat transfer into the atmosphere, causing coral bleaching. So in the earlier section we also found about the coral bleaching, some of the species of algae which are extremely facing some time of crisis. Yes or no? So this is all about Lakshadweep Island, which is facing marine heat waves. Now about marine heat waves process. Marine heat waves can last for weeks, months, or even years. So it lasts for basically weeks, months, or years. And since we know Bay of Bengal is relatively warmer than Arabian Sea. Next, cyclone. Recently, land originating cyclone named Asna was formed in Kutch coast in Gujarat in Arabian Sea. So I hope you all know the cyclone that is originated in land is temperate or tropical cyclone. Please. If you don't know, then there is a division of revision. So please have a look on those. Cyclone that is originating in land, okay, is temperate or tropical. Yes, one confusion might arise that the cyclone that is originating in sea can also extend to land, but the cyclone that is originating in sea cannot be found in land. So what is the name of the cyclone that is formed, or what is the name of the cyclone that is formed in land, that can be formed in land? Okay, so recently Asna, which is in Gujarat, it formed over Kutch coast in Gujarat in Arabian Sea. Okay, now next, so there is also a confusion. See, I said, or even all of you know, that the Bay of Bengal is relatively warmer. So Bay of Bengal is a good grounds for cyclone. But how the cyclone Asna formed our Kutch coast in Gujarat and near to Arabian Sea. Okay. Next, about tropical cyclone, rapidly rotating storms that are non-frontal low pressure system originating over tropical ocean. So see, tropical cyclone always forms over tropical ocean. Okay, known as cyclone in Indian Ocean. So from Indian perspectives or Indian Ocean perspective, cyclone is termed as cyclone. From Atlantic, it is termed as hurricane. From Western Pacific and Southern China, it is named as typhoon, and Western Australia, it is Willy Willies. Other cyclone in use like Cyclone Ramal on West Bengal and Bangladesh coast, Typhoon Yagi in Vietnam, Hurricane Helen Milton USA, Typhoon Yingxing in Philippines, and Hurricane Viral in Caribbean. Cyclones are different from tornadoes, also known as twisters. Okay. A tornado is violently rotating column of air that extends from a thunderstorm to the ground. Yes. Next. So this is some of the cyclone forming process. This is a tropical cyclone forming process. Please have a look on those. Yes, one thing, tropical cyclone can be formed only when the temperature is greater than 27 degree Celsius. Okay. Next, IMD colors coded. So what are the IMD color coded? Like this: green, pre-cyclone watch issued 72 hours in advance; yellow, cyclone alert; orange, cyclone warning; and red, post landfall outlook, means after the cyclone has occurred. Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. So what is Saffir-Simpson wind? It divides the tropical into 5 categories. Category 1 wind speed, category 2 category 5 wind speed to 52 km/h. So it basically categorizes the cyclone. Next, glacial lake outburst floods. So glacial lake outburst floods. So recently the Central Water Commission made a report on glacial lake, and the other water bodies in the Himalayas have extended their surface area. So glacial lake outburst has increased in India on and around 33.7%. So one thing, see, if anyone asks or if any question arises, or why the glacial lake outburst happens, or what is the reason behind it. So reason may be because, see, global is warming. Yes, temperature increasing. Yes or no? Unnecessary, or yes, in the name of urbanization or development, cutting of forest. So these are some of the unfruitful things happening to the environment. Okay. So see, Central Water Commission is under the Ministry of Jal Shakti. Okay. The region with the most notable expansion include Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh. So these are the specific reasons where cloudburst most often happens. Okay. So about glacial lakes, it is a body of water that originates from melting of glacier. So glacial lake outburst, sudden release of water. Okay, recognize the potential climate risk in Indian National Disaster Management Plan. Three main features: involve sudden release of water and tend to be rapid events lasting hours to days, results in large downstream river discharge. So see, glacial lake outburst. If glacial lake outburst happens, so there will be a increase in the flow of water. Yes, which is not beneficial for the rivers in the low stream or low valley. Okay, because it might result in flood. Yes or no? So next, moving to the next topic is oil spills. See, it is also a part of pollution, polluting the water surfaces, and it also highly destructible for the marine environment. Okay, so National Green Tribunal imposes no faulty liability, rupees 5 crore penalty on Chennai Petroleum Corporation Limited for Tamil Nadu's Nagapattinam oil spill. So National Green Tribunal has imposed a fine on certain courts, that is Chennai Petroleum Corporation Limited, for oil spill at Tamil Nadu, Nagapattinam. Okay. Now the oil spill is a form of pollution and the release of liquid petroleum hydrocarbon into the environment, especially marine areas, due to human activity. Now, often caused by accident involving tankers, barges, pipelines, or refineries. So what it is impact: loss of biodiversity, damage to food chain, and coastal erosion. Now what is bioremediation? Use of living erosion in the removal of contaminants. Next, what is booms and skimmers? Booms are physical barriers that slow the spread of oil and keep it contained. Skimmers are boats deployed to remove the oil. So booms like physical barrier you might often see in the local rivers or sea. People to catch fish they spread the net. They spread the net in such a way so that the fish doesn't move from there during the flood session. Okay, so similarly the boom are the physical barriers. Okay, and skimmers are boards deployed to remove the oil spill. Next, landslide. Union Ministry inaugurated National Landslide Forecasting Center in Kolkata. So please remember, National Landslide Forecasting Center was set up in Kolkata. Next, about landslides, I hope you know. Next is initiative taken for landslide reduction like National Landslide Risk Management Strategy, National Landslide Susceptibility Mapping, Landslide Risk Mitigation Schemes, and Landslide Atlas of India. Okay. So next, moving to the next topic is weather forecasting, localized weather forecast. Recently, a first of its kind Gram Panchayat level weather forecasting initiative was launched, supported by India Meteorological Department. About Gram Panchayat level weather forecasting initiatives. Ministry Joint program of the Panchayat Raj Ministry, IMD, and the Ministry of Art Science. Features 2.5 lakh Gram Panchayat. They can see data on the current temperature, wind speed, and cloud cover, rainfall, and relative humidity, strengthening grassroots governance and agriculture livelihood. SMS alerts will be sent to Panchayat representatives. So, it is a ground level initiative. Next, related news: cause it flows, community source impact based flood forecast and early warning system. A new system that collects hyperlocal data for flood forecast and was launched in the flood prone Periyar and Chalukadi river basins in Kerala. Okay, next, drought early warning system. 30% of Indian lands area experienced different degrees of drought in September 2023 as per DEW's data. So key finding, what are the key findings? August 2023 was driest August since 1901 keeping began. So this is drought early warning system. So this is just a warning and nothing else. Okay, so DEWS is India's first real-time drought monitoring system. So please remember DEWS drought early warning system. It is India's first early drought warning system. So what are the components in DEWS? Like observing and monitoring, predicting and forecasting, planning and preparedness, and communication outreach. Next, polar coupled analysis and prediction for services. So World Meteorological Organization has launched a PCAP project to improve the weather forecasting in Arctic and Antarctic. So basically for Arctic and Antarctic, the World Meteorological Organization has launched a project that is named as PCAPS. Okay. So now what is PCAPS? Its objective is to increase and improve weather, water, ice, and climate formation about Arctic and Antarctic. It will develop observation system and earth science model and advocate for improved forecasting and services. So PCAPS is a part of WHO World Health Research Program. Okay. Next topic is other disaster related news. Parametric insurance. Now what is parametric insurance? Nagaland became the first Indian state to adopt the disaster risk transfer parametric insurance solutions after signing an MOU with SBI General Insurance. Now what is parametric insurance? It is a type of insurance that covers the probability or likelihood of loss causing events happening. Example, earthquake. Instead of compensating for actual loss incurred from event. So it also covers the probability. Okay. Now it also covers the probability, not only. And see, basically we see that when the death occurred, then the insurance company compensates, or when the accident occurs, then the insurance company compensates. But it is quite different. So what is this different? It is different is that even the probability is covered under the insurance. Okay, so it is an agreement that offers a pre-specified payment upon occurrence of covered event meeting exceeding a predefined initially and threshold as measured by an objective value parameter. Next, recovery and reconstruction funding window. Ministry of Home Affairs issued guidelines on recovery and reconstruction funding window within NDRF, National Disaster Relief. Okay, and SDRF, these are all state disaster relief response fund. Nodal agency, State Disaster Management Authority. Next, Floodwatch in India. Ministry of Jal Shakti launched version 2.0 of the Floodwatch India mobile application covering 592 flood monitoring station. So it is basically an initiative of Ministry of Jal Shakti. Next is EW for all. So what is EW all? Early warning for all. Okay, so IMD chief said that India is helping Nepal, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Mauritius to develop EWS as a part of early warning for all initiative. So it is basically an Indian initiative. Okay, so IMD, Indian Meteorological Department. Next, exercise IKEA. So what is IKEA? National Disaster Management Authority and Southern Command of Indian Army are set to host exercise IKEA in Chennai. So objectives: improve disaster preparedness and foster strong collaboration among key stakeholders by incorporating simultaneous technology discussions and expert insights. So some organizations in news like Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. Just the first topic was that. So it is a UN Climate Summit by India in 2019. Okay, member countries 40. India is also a member. Next, geography. So now basically we are moving to the next topic, that is geography, El Nino and La Nina phenomena. So I hope everyone knows among El Nino and La Nina, the La Nina is favorable for India from climate perspectives, whereas El Nino reduces the vegetation's capacity of the Indian land because it defers or it delays the monsoon capacity. Okay, so now National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration, El Nino Southern Oscillation. So El Nino Southern Oscillation is a recurring climate phenomena involving changes in the temperature, water in the central and eastern tropical Pacific Ocean occur in irregular cycles in 2 to 7 years. El Nino and La Nina are extreme phases of the ENSO. Between these two phases is a third phase called ENSO neutral. So El Nino and La Nina, please have a look. El Nino's another name is Krish Guide and La Nina's another name is Little Girl. Next, Nor'westers. I hope everyone knows about it. India is working to develop first research test bed to study Nor'westers. Aim to study thunderstorm from the formatting stage, growth and propagations over eastern parts of the country, covering a large area adjoining the West Bengal, Odisha and Jharkhand. So control center is Chanbali in Odisha's Bhadrak district. Next, Nor'westers, which causes thunderstorms and that affect the east and northeast region of India every summer. In Bengal, it is named as Kalvaishakhi. In Assam, it is known as Bardoiloi Chiria. Okay? Next, so some other local events and the socio-economic influence. Lu is basically seen in Delhi section. Okay, Andi and Kali Andi. Mango showers basically in the southern portion, Karnataka and Kerala, and blossom showers, pre-monsoon shower, blossoming of coffee flowers and elephanta. Okay, is the end of southeast monsoon. Next is undersea features in Indian Ocean. Recently, names of Osaka Sea Mount, Chandragupta Ridge and Kalaputra Ridge in the Indian Ocean have been approved by International Hydrologic Organizations and UNESCO Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission. Now I hope everyone knows about the ridge formation. Ridge is basically a ocean floor phenomena. Ocean floor phenomena. Okay, ridge is basically a hill. It is basically a hillside, but it remains underneath ocean, means below or in the ocean. Okay, underwater. So 3 names has been approved: Osaka Sea Mount, Chandragupta Ridge and Kalaputra Ridge. Okay, next. So see, there is something in new terms has been used, that is bathymetric data is information about the shape and depth of the underwater terrain such as ocean floor. Now what is geoparks? UNESCO endorsed the addition of 18 new geoparks to the global geoparks network. So recently 18 geoparks has been added to the global geoparks network and it is basically an initiative of UNESCO. Okay, next. So see, some of the major geoparks added to GGN. Yes, what is our others? One is land of extinct volcano, Poland, impact of Crater Lake, Finland, and Uberaba, it is in Brazil. Okay. Now, Global Geopark Network is a non-profit international association officially established in 2014. So it is under the umbrella of UNESCO. Next, terms and concepts in is what is base flow. It refers to a portion of stream flow that originates from the groundwater discharge seeping into the stream or river over an extended period. Groundwater discharge into the water bodies and the water able to intersect the surface. Okay. Next is equatorial plasma bubbles. Now, what is equatorial plasma bubbles? Recently, a study Indian Institute of Geomagnetism found that volcanic eruption causes equatorial plasma bubbles. So, Equatorial plasma is basically a phenomena of volcanisms. Okay, so equatorial plasma bubbles normally observed in the equatorial ionosphere. So what is equatorial ionosphere? Equatorial ionosphere is that part of the earth ionosphere that lies near the equator. A depletion in ionospheric plasma density formed during the post-sunset hours. Next, atmospheric rivers. So atmospheric rivers is basically a flying river or relatively long narrow regions in the atmosphere that transport most of the water vapor outside the tropics. An average atmospheric rivers is about 1000 km long and 500 km wide. Next, negative leaf second. Researchers have shown that increased ice melting may have delayed need for adding negative leaf seconds. What is leaf seconds? It is second that is subtracted from clocks to keep them aligned with Earth's rotation. So leap second is basically an second that is subtracted from the clock so as to keep aligned with Earth rotation. It is opposite of positive leap second. 1 second addition to clock. Next, zero shadow day. Zero shadow day means no shadow. Means the sun is over the head for the entire daytime. Okay, so this is so recently Bangalore experienced zero shadow day. Next, what is blue hole? Researchers found evidence of blue hole in the deepest of the world. So recently a blue hole has been discovered, which is the deepest, and it is located in Mexico, Chetumal Bay, on the eastern part of the Yucatan Peninsula. So water filled with caverns. So what is cavern? A large deep cave chamber that's mostly underground and below the sea floor. So other blue holes like Dragon Hole in the southern China Sea, Great Blue Hole near Belize, and the Dahab Blue Hole is in Egypt. Next is what is heat dome. Cities across southern and western states in the USA facing heat waves. So next, Indian Ocean Observing System Indus. So recently, India and US have decided to reactive the Indus in despair since COVID. So what is Indus? Network of 36 moored VOs is a floating device that is used to secure vessel in a specific location on the water. So moored views on the high seas to collect high resolution ocean and atmospheric data for weather forecast. This is initiatives for forecasting. Next is ring audit ocean. So researchers have uncovered a vast reservoir of water dubbed the ring audit ocean concealed within the Earth's mantle about 700 km beneath the surface. So one is ring audit ocean. It is you can say it is a bundle of water that has been discovered in the earth below the Earth's crust that is in mantle and below 700 km. So some of the word that has been used like Atlantic Massif. What is Atlantic Massif? So Atlantis Massif is a prominent undersea massif in the North Atlantic Ocean. It is a dome-shaped region, approx 10 miles across, rising about the 14,000 feet of the seafloor. What is massif? A compact group of mountains. Next, Earth's mantle. I hope everyone knows about the Earth mantles. So recently, scientists on the US vessel Jodi's resolution have drilled around 1.2 meters below the Atlantis Massif. It is under the program of International Ocean Discovery Program. Next is isostasy. What is isostasy? The Earth's crust floats on mantle, similar to how reef floats on water. Raft float on water. So what is this? It is an equilibrium or balance between block of crust and the underlying mantle. So it is basically a balance that is maintained by the crust as well as mantle. Now how? Earth's crust is basically floats over the mantle, and similarly how a rift float on water. Rift valley, I hope you know how the rift formation takes place when the lithosphere melts in the magma portion and magma comes out. Magma comes out and get attached to the land and forms an island or hills or any kind of thing. So that is called a rift valley. Okay. So now what is Earth magnetic field? So Earth is surrounded by an immense magnetic field forming a region called magnetosphere. It is generated in the Earth's outer core by geodynamo process. Next is cold lava. What is cold lava? Recently, cold lava rushed to the streets of Mount Kanlo erupted in the Philippines. So recently, a cold lava has erupted. So this is a new phenomenon. It is a dense mixture of volcanic materials, debris, and water that behaves like fast-moving landslides. Okay, so it is mixed with water. Heat budget of the Earth, I hope you know. NASA has launched one of the two climate satellites under pre-fire mission to measure how much heat the Arctic and Antarctic radiate into space. So pre-fire is an initiative of NASA And what is the basic aim? Its basic aim is to measure what amount of heat does Arctic and Antarctic radiate back to the space. Okay. Next is Kalakkadal. So weather agency has sent an alert in coastal areas of Kerala and Tamil Nadu about the possibility of Kalakkadal phenomenon. Now what is Kalakkadal? It is essential coastal flooding usually in pre-monsoon or post-monsoon season by swell waves on southwest coast of India. So it is basically western coast. Western Ghats. Okay. So swell waves are series of mechanical or surface gravity waves generated by distant weather storms, example hurricane, that propagate thousands of miles across ocean and seas. Swell waves can propagate in directions that differs from the direction of the wind. Okay. So this is some of the places in news. I hope we will be covering the next video. Okay, it will basically take most time, and since we have reached to an end of basically an half an hour video, so we will be stopping here. And I hope you have all underlined the important section 1. Please give a revision once and again. Okay, and अगर आपने मेरा वीडियो पहले बार देखे हो तो प्लीज़ शेयर सब्सक्राइब एंड कमेंट कीजिएगा अगर कहीं ज़रूरत हो तो। अगर कहीं पे भी कुछ कन्फ्यूजन हो तो प्लीज़ मेंशन कीजिएगा कमेंट सेक्शन पे। आई विल ट्राई माय बेस्ट टू सॉल्व इट। ओके, थैंक यू, हैव ए गुड डे एंड बाय बाय।